What kind of a guy does that? We are fucking neighbors.
Wait, what did that person say?
Can you rewind it really quickly? Because you said, what did they say? I don't know who called this black man serving his country a house n***er, but someone did in that video. And if people are more offended at me repeating what a leftist yelled at a black ICE officer, then that's your problem. Oh,
Sir,
yep. There you go. And they want you to believe that, of course, ICE are the racists. You've been sold this narrative, and here's the thing. We are seeing the left reject this. That's really what we're seeing right now. We've been told, oh my gosh, the midterms are going to be a bloodbath, and Donald Trump is losing the Hispanic community. No, if you want to talk about the cult of personality or how people perceive an individual, sure. We have to separate that from the momentum on the issues where we can actually, observe some quantifiable data. The trend is going the opposite direction, where the Hispanic community is becoming more hardcore on immigration and on overall sort of border security laws, voter ID, than they have ever been. I think it's because they've actually had to experience this firsthand. They're the ones who live in the community with these folks, unlike a lot of the, of course, the chorus of liberal, privileged white women. So you've been told, and people are rejecting the idea that ICE is racist. It's white, racist ICE officers who are targeting and hunting brown people. Well, before we get to some stats, I just want you to watch this and let it bring a smile to your face. Here's a black ICE agent. It went viral, addressing some leftist protesters. And you can tell that he thought of this line beforehand, hesitated, and then said, I'm going to do it, and stuck the landing.
Yes, families should be ripped apart. If I count your energy, we should rip people apart from their families.
Are you a man?
Wow, is that a question? Wow.
He just walks. That's it. He didn't even care about the answer.
Does that feel good?
House Sir, I need to move.
Sir.
Why are you calling a woman a man? I mean, what kind of a guy does that?
We are fucking neighbors.
Wait, what did that person say?
Great.
A warning for what, sir? A warning for what?
Yeah, very respectful warning.
Because?
Because it's a bad look when
Yes,
white
we're
people
allowed to still
stalk
need to do
black
those
folks in a
law
car.
enforcement operations. We still have the First Amendment, sir. We are not impeding your operations. We're merely filming them.
You are interfering with our operations. You do not continue to follow.
And by the way, can you rewind it really quickly? Because you said, what did they say? I don't know who called this black man serving his country a house n***er, but someone did in that video. And if people are more offended at me repeating what a leftist yelled at a black ICE officer, then that's your problem. Let's go back to that.
Question?
Wow.
Okay.
You'll hear it right here.
Does that feel good?
Oh,
Sir,
yep. There you go. And they want you to believe that, of course, ICE are the racists, and the people who support deportations are racist. By the way, I don't know if you know this, Alex Preddy, that wonderful ICU nurse, two Hispanic dudes. Those are the people he was accosting. And I would be willing to bet that there were probably Hispanic dudes in the car whose vehicle he had assaulted as well, committed vandalism against. Here's something else. Check out the references, links in the description. Hispanics make up a disproportionately large percentage of ICE and CPB. ICE, 30%, their agents are Hispanic. CBP? I know, CBP, it's hard to say. You know me.
He's down
50%. So 30% for ICE and CBP, 50% respectively. Think about that.
I've been saying this for a long time. I didn't know the numbers were that high, though. I've been saying for a long time that a lot of Customs and Border Patrol are Hispanic or Latino descent. Yeah. My dad worked for Customs.
Right.
It was like, I would have, if I had to guess, it was like, I don't know, a quarter to half of the guys he worked with were Hispanic.
By the way, that would be high as a percentage of any workforce. I bet you probably, we don't have the numbers because a lot of people work off the books, probably pretty comparable in a lot of the manual labor jobs where they say, who's going to insert whatever here, do construction, pick your strawberries. 50% would still be a really high number of Hispanics in any line of work. So that's not by accident.
Except kitchens, maybe.
Maybe, especially the Chinese ones.
Just got more of a bone to pick than the people who actually came here legally. And
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And so this is what you're seeing. You're seeing Hispanic Americans, who, by the way, swung quite a bit for Trump, depending on the demographic as far as age or gender, but certainly something notable that we've observed. You're hearing them go, look, this is a problem, and we really need to deal with this. Yeah, but this isn't my grandma coming over. I know, I live in the communities with a lot of these animals who are both the criminals and the non-contributors. It's not the same as previous generations who are seeking out a better life. And what we're seeing with the cartels and the coyotes, we really need to deal with this problem. And then white people saying, no, it's racist. They don't know what they want. We do. And of course, this brings us to the endless accusations, which has been rejected from the left, of bootlicking and race trading. You know, the Uncle Tom attack for brown people.
Ooh, it ought to be a crime. He ain't no friend of mine. That guy.
It's just one of those days.
The two ICE officers who killed Alex Preddy.
Thanks, Mushmouth.
Are most likely the children of immigrants.
These two agents were Latino, but we've been seeing that these agents that are doing all of this are Latino. And now they have blood on their hands.
This is the results of blanqueamiento. Or some may, understand it to be like this whole concept of mejora raza.
His name's Jesus. Ochoa. And Custom Border Protection Officer Raimundo Gutierrez. I mean, you can't get more Latino than that, right?
You are the arbiter.
Again, I don't even believe these guys exist. I think this is just a propaganda technique by ICE.
Wait, hold on a second. Isn't that erasure? Wouldn't that actually be denying the existence? He literally said, I don't believe they exist. But thanks for the hot tip, Count of Monte Cristo. I don't know how he thinks he can get away with that look. Someone can, but it's not him.
No. You stole my chicken.
I'm El Pollo Dantes. And I will have my revenge. The Count of Monte Extra.
In this meal or the next. That's a rich come from me with my belly bouncing, but I don't care. It's fucking funny.
Let me go through the reason that this is the case. Okay. By the way, tune in 11 a.m. Eastern. If you're watching a clip, hey, we do this live every day, weekdays, 11 a.m. Tune in live. You get to interact with us. You actually get to enjoy live programming, which is kind of a throwback in a lot of ways. Even a lot of the shows that say they're live aren't live.
No.
They're pre-taped. 3 reasons that I think this is the case. And we could probably prove this, which means we will. Number 1, Hispanic communities in the United States, they see firsthand the results of illegal immigration. Yep. They are the ones who have to deal with it. They know what the ramifications actually are. And just like the left's claims of racism have been rejected, these Hispanic people are rejecting the narrative. It needs to be fixed.
I've been here several months ago, but the number of migrants that are here significantly higher. It's not just this block. It extends for blocks and blocks.
Those 12,600 encounters you mentioned, that is the highest single-day total ever recorded, beating the previous record.
Louisville's a town of like 20 people, by the way. My dad worked there.
It's just getting completely overrun. Take a look at this video. A contact on the ground there sent us last night. Thousands upon thousands of migrants camped out waiting to be processed by Border Patrol.
Yeah. And local surprisingly that they are just overwhelmed. Again, the mayor declaring a state of emergency here.
These chaotic scenes along the Rio Grande coming as the U.S. faces a crush of migrants, many of them Haitian, in the border town of Del Rio.
What? The president hasn't put out a statement. The vice president, I haven't heard from anybody. Nobody has bothered to call me, anyone in the city staff, saying, hey, this is the federal government.
Look at that white mayor.
We know what you're going through. We're worried about you. This is our plan of action. Nothing. We're here abandoned. We're on the border. We're asking for help. This is unacceptable. Please. just enforce the laws that are on the books.
And many migrants believe they have a better chance of getting into the U.S. through asylum under the Biden administration.
Another wave of migrants is expected to enter the border city of El Paso, Texas today. More than 7,000 people have crossed over from Mexico in just the past 3 days.
Yeah, so statistically, Hispanic and Black Americans are saying that's a problem. Privileged white liberal Americans in the suburbs say, no, it's not.
Who live nowhere near the border.
I don't believe that you exist, a Hispanic or Black American who wants a secure border. This brings us to reason number 2. Illegal immigration, we all know, disproportionately affects minorities in the workforce. And just think about this. Yeah. We're saying the same thing. The left would say, well, who's going to pick your strawberries, huh? Who's going to do your construction? And then there are Hispanic actual Americans or Black Americans going, well, I could do it. That's a good paying job. So we're saying the same thing. Who's going to do it? Well, exactly. Americans will do it. They're saying, no, cheaper third world labor should do it. Nearly half of the decline in the Black male labor force is due to illegals. Over 1 million jobs have been lost. That's what when Van Jones said, there is, the Latino and Black community have always shared a bond, and we are being driven against each other. No, we're not. It's not Donald Trump driving a wedge. It's the left.
They're just replacing you.
Yeah, they're not just replacing white Americans demographically. They are actively replacing the workforce in this country. For more proof, look at the job growth under Biden. It was entirely foreign workers, and Americans lost net millions, gained millions foreign workers, and it switched as a matter of policy. Donald Trump, an exact reversal.
Yeah.
Reason number 3 here is, Hispanic, Latino culture, whatever you want to say, except for Latinx. It is American Southwest culture. Like when people talk about American culture, we talked about this with Ken Paxton yesterday. Yeah, there are Black Americans or Hispanic. That's something you see in Texas.
Yeah.
When that switches and you go to the mall and it looks like little Bangladesh, that doesn't feel American.
No. They're proud of it too. It's famously 6 flags over Texas. One of them is Mexico's flag.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of the history. The cities are named after it. It is Southwest culture is.
Well, this goes
American
back to
culture.
1848. 100,000 Mexicans. They lived in annexed territories following the Mexican-American War. I know you've talked about that quite a bit. And 80,000 chose to become American citizens.
There you go.
They don't want their culture replaced with third worldism. And for even more proof of that, you can even see that in Mexico. What we view as Mexican culture is people who have absorbed and embraced the religion and practices of their conquerors. You realize that what we always talk about Native Americans, well, what about the Aztecs and the Mayans? Why aren't they still living that way? And they allow a few groups to LARP and think that they have some kind of control of their own little village. But the truth is, Mexicans are by and large Catholic. The most of South America at this point. They're speaking Spanish. So when you say, their culture, well, their culture is still not what you would picture as native culture. And it is something that is more, by the way, it's more adaptable. It certainly works with American culture in a way that Islamic culture doesn't. In a way that, I will even say, Indian culture, whether it's Islamic, whether it's Hindi, whether it's one of their 158 languages, modern Tower of Babel, that doesn't. They don't want their culture, Hispanic Americans, to be replaced with the cultures that are incompatible. And today, if you look at a lot of the border countries, they're becoming increasingly conservative. And we've always said this, like they're socially more conservative because they're Catholic, they don't have traditional values, they tend to have large families. But politically, you're seeing them become more conservative. So in 2022, McAllen elected the first Republican mayor in 25 years. It's now been named the 3rd safest city in America.
Wow.
And certainly if you look at not only bordering a lot of these cities, by the way, we just looked at that Eagle Pass, that man talking about what was happening with Joe Biden. Again, the people who have to live it. 2024, President Trump swept the Rio Grande Valley.
That's massive.
This is something that
even El Paso? Oh, yeah. Oh, is it blue up there in the corner?
Yeah, a little bit of blue up there.
I was going to say, because El Paso is a pretty liberal city, but...
So I just don't know how can someone make the case in 2026, how does the left have a leg to stand on? Saying that ICE is racist. Saying that, no, hold on. This is about targeting brown people. When brown people are joining ICE and brown people are supporting ICE, how do you make that case outside of living in an echo chamber with other privileged white people? Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, you can click around and watch one of these videos on YouTube, or head on over to Rumble and subscribe, where I am live every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern. Live on Rumble. YouTube is dead. Rumble did it. And on Rumble, you can say